All right. Strength Coach reacts to 2011 SEMO football. These are my boys, Southeast Missouri State football. This was our season after we won our first conference championship, won the OVC in 2010. And in 2011, this was my last full year at SEMO. Took us through the off season, got us to the middle of the summer. And then I summarily retired from college strength and conditioning due to the birth of my first son, another state away. So went the family route. But this is one of my favorite off seasons. You see a lot of really cool stuff. We moved from basically a basement dungeon weight room to an old basketball court, and now the facility there is top notch. But this is just the equipment that you see here is what we moved over. My office was like a little a little cubby in the side of it, the side of the weight room. But one of my funnest off seasons ever. So let's get rolling here. This is something that made a big difference: is rope climbing, heavy back work, dead stop rowing, heavy pull-ups with chains, rope climbs. And we used the basketball hoops here as a way to do pull-ups on top of it to add some layers to it. As Brian Blanford, he was a safety for us, absolute monster of a freaking player. So our strength works was a little bit different in terms of the bench squat deadlift. Our freshmen and sophomores would use Wendler's 5-3-1, while the rest of our guys would use a rotational conjugate type rotation, building them into the last testing. See some jumps here. That was an up, down, up. Heavy pressing here. This was what we called a stadium workout. We went outside, lunges, split lunges, jumps. It was a lot of fun. Pure hell on earth. Again, heavy dead stop rowing. Brandon Beck here. This guy was special operations before he came to us. He was a fucking monster. Squatted dead 600. The weighted ab work. We did a combination of heavy front squats, heavy back squats, heavy box squats, the whole bit. And our guys were just fucking strong. And we got out of the rack cleans, developed some power, complexing it. Deadlift was our bread and butter during this time of the off season because our running volume was much lower. So we were able to pull a lot heavier and not really have our backs being affected. But our guys could jump. This guy right there that just threw that ball, he's a coach over in Germany right now for football. Again, heavy cleans, reverse lunges out of the Zercher spot, which is a movement probably a lot of people should use more of. A lot of people should use this Zercher movement a lot more across, not just the Zercher squat, but Zercher lunges, Zercher step-ups, even Zercher marching in place. The benefits that you will get from a core standpoint are second to none. Let me try to back this thing off, and hopefully the video quality gets a little bit better. This was, again, taken off like a little handheld camera, so it was not the best. So let's continue. So always did sprint work, and this kind of got a funny story here. So we had some pretty heavy snows up in Missouri this time of year, right? Especially particularly this year. And guys would text me in the morning, you know, are we lifting? Are we running? Are we running? And I finally told the guys, I said, guys, unless there's a hurricane or I'm dead, we're running. So we always did sprint work. Sprint work is something we kept in year round because as the body adapts, as you get more muscular, you begin to lose leverages when it comes to sprinting. So you keep the sprint work in and it kind of moves itself uniformly up so the body adapts to where we're always getting faster as the body is putting on new muscle tissue. It's something that's super key, and any track coach could probably tell you the same thing. We have a standing ab wheel. As a high school coach, I got kids right now that are trying to work up to this. I've shown this video probably a dozen times, and they're like, man, I got to get to there. So you see there, slow eccentrics, increasing time and tension. Hamstring work was something we always did constantly. Box squatting was our staple, and we always box squatted. And back pulling 500 plus deadlift there. Conrad, that was Colt McCauley. This guy took a 605 squat, took a step halfway up, and got it. Showing you a little bit of blood there, so you know you pulled it right. Pause squatting out of that front squat position. Push up rows, one of my favorite movements all time. Build that push up, build the back at the same time. Overhead pressing, something we didn't keep in a ton, but when we did, we got the most out of it. Crossover step ups, another movement that I think is great. Working the adductors as well. That's a 500 plus with a chain on top of it. And a little bit of footwork is, people like to look cute. But this is a hell of a fun off season. Hope you guys enjoyed this one because, man, like if I could have this year back one more time, we'd fucking do it right.